Hello everyone. Today I have a great pleasure to speak with Aleksandra Marjańska, who is originally from Poland, but for the last 14 years she is living in Norway, and she's professional goal achiever. Hi Aleksandra, great to meet you. Thank you for being part of our community.
Oh, and thank you so much for having me. Really, I'm really excited about this conversation and meeting you and getting to know our tribe here in the community. So thanks. It's a great opportunity for me, and especially that I again get to talk about things that I'm most passionate about. Like as far as I can remember, back to my early childhood when I could like verbalize my thought and remember it. Um, I've always been thinking in terms of goals and achievements. And I was I think it's actually a very good word to say, I was obsessed with setting new goals and achieving new goals, like taking them seriously, because you might notice that many people are dreamers. Then the skill is sometimes skilled in us by others. But many people, when they get born, they are dreamers, but not many people take these dreams seriously. And for me, there is no difference really between a dream and a goal. Because if I dream about something like, and I realize this is something I really want, I would love things to be this way. I would love me to be this way. I instantly switch to, okay, how? How can I make it happen? I don't question it. I don't think, oh, is this possible or not? And the thing is that the more impossible something seems to me in the given moment, the more attracted I get to it. I feel challenged, and I love feeling of being challenged. I search for challenges all the time. I search for these opportunities to grow, to test myself. And people say there is this phrase in the self-development world that live up to your full potential. I don't care about this. Like, I believe that we are living up to our full potential in the given moment because it's in our best interest, intuitively, to do our best out of the circumstances, out of the knowledge that we have in the current moment, the emotions that we are having going on, and how we can do the best out of it, even though it might not seem like the best thing to do. But in the moment, we are doing our best. So to me, it's all about not living up to the potential. It's about exploring your potential with curiosity and about expanding it. Because the more you explore it, the more you throw yourself out there, testing yourself, challenging yourself, the more you actually expand your potential. It's growing with you. So I've always been this achiever, and this inner drive. This is what to me defines an achiever. You don't need any outer motivation. You have it in you. It's so strong that you can't help it. Like, it's pulling you. You don't need to push yourself. It's pulling you in different directions. But professional goal achievement to me is an advanced level of this. Because when you are a goal achiever, this natural type of high achiever, your strengths can be taken to extreme. And when you take them to extreme and you overplay them, as I say it, they can turn into your weaknesses. If I were to help these people somehow to figure it out, what should I do? I need some approach. I need some tools. Then I became social anthropologist, a very good one. And again, what I love the most about it is the quality research, is the methodology that we use when we are entering the world of others in order to understand the cultural codes, like how they interact with each other, what they expect of each other, how high standards they set for each other, the social pressure and control around it, but also like entering the world of the individual. And obviously how our culture also affects how we perceive this world. So that was my huge fascination, and this is what coaching and social anthropology have in common. So I kept this piece of my first education. Then I always knew I wanted to study coaching once I discovered that it existed, something like coaching. I didn't know that when I was growing up. It wasn't like a profession to choose. So I took a deep dive into this. And I also wanted to share knowledge with people because I am this scientific type as well, a very academic geek. So I wanted to explore again and do a lot of research on developing human potential, goal achievement, the ways to do it in the right way. But also, once I get it and it's advanced, how to explain it, how to tell about it so that it will be easy to digest, emotionally, capturing and inspiring people.
And I'd say for people who have their goals and they sometimes they are confused, honestly, because they said, okay, this is my goals, professional goal, and then something happened which they don't have absolutely under their control. For example, let's say we all know kind of end of last year we had a plan for this year, right? Professionally, personal, for the family, and then 2020 happened, and then like all your goals, plans, you can just put on the side and start to think, how can I pivot? So, what in that kind of case, which is just normal in the nature that you cannot predict how environment is going to look like, by all means, nature, environment, political environment, whatsoever. So how to not be in a conflict between those two? So to have a goals, but not be affected so much with external factors.
Yeah. So the one thing I'm thinking about, you can be attached to your goal, and really even more so attached to the why behind your goal. Because first of all, like first thought is the goal. As we learn in the self-development industry, again, your goals should be smart. They need to be realistic. They don't, by the way. They need to be specific, and they need to be measurable, and you need to have the timeline and the deadline. No deadline, serious. For these people. So this is the main message that we are getting all the time. So you do it, like you want to be this professional goal achiever, so you listen, you consume this stuff, and you think, oh, so this is how I'm going to do this. And what happens? So you create this plan, yes, because you need to have the strategy that is realistic, that you can measure. You create your timelines. You feel, oh, now I'm in control. I have this great plan, and you get attached to this goal itself, which to you as a smart goal looks like it's this specific thing, it's this specific job in this specific company that I will get by this specific date, for instance, right? But then, first of all, I want you to start thinking of these kind of goals, like the specific images that you can see exactly, and so that you could describe and make a movie out of it. This is not your destination. This is your starting point for the whole journey. Because making this goal so specific allows you to figure out some specific actions that you could take to move in this direction. If it's too general, you really don't know what to do with it. Your brain won't understand it. So this is why we need these goals to be specific. But the thing is that this goal really is just your best guess at the given moment for what it could be specifically that could give you the feelings, mostly, that and met the needs behind it that you have. That's your big why. So that's one. The other one, the deadlines. Like if you have these goals that I love working on, so these so-called almost impossible ones, right? They are so big, they are so complex. It is a long-term run. So you can't really predict all the factors that will come in your way or come to support you on your way. So it's really hard to set a specific deadline on it. And just listen to the sound of deadline. I don't like a deadline. So what? If you have reached this point of time and you haven't made your dream come true, is this dream dead? It's not. If it's really, something that's driving you, will keep going. And then when it comes to planning and strategy, I believe that it's super important to plan, but it's an exercise for yourself. So when you're planning, it really forces you, because you need to have this time frame, it really forces you to choose what's the most important thing to do for you right now. Which of your goals would you like to achieve first? And so that achieving this would help you achieve the others. It will be easier. But if you need to choose, what would be the first one? Then what would be the second one, and so on. And then the steps. And then which one of these 20 possible strategies, which one, two, max 3, would you like to go for? That feels like it's based on your strengths, that it feels like fun, that you can do. Obviously, you will be challenged and you will need to learn more. but what feels like a fun, exciting journey. And then you choose, and then you plan. And once you have this plan, you need to be aware that nothing will go 100% according to this plan, because there are things that you couldn't predict. There are things that are out of your personal control, great many things in life. But once these things happen, and you know that they will at some point, often many times during the day, you have this plan, so you see, like, it's easier to rearrange it. It's easier to choose, okay, what is the most important thing that I really need to get done that will move me most forward towards the things that I want? What I can leave out, what I can shrink into the absolute minimum, and it won't be perfect, but the absolute minimum will be covered. What I can delegate, what I can ask for help with, and what I can just leave.
How do you work with the clients? Is that one-on-one? Because every person have very, very different goals, and but it's very personal and individual, I would say. Or is that like you're helping companies with the company goals, or sometimes you work with a group of people? So just give us idea how you usually helping people.
This is a very good question, because what I offer, and also the message around it that I'm sending more publicly into the world, is really not for everyone. So I can tell just a few words about how I've worked in the past, because I shared with you before we jumped on live that my journey with coaching as a professional approach to different things has lasted now for soon a decade. But my business has taken form, and I have gone 100% for it quite recently. It was like in the beginning of last year, so it's not even 2 years old. And it was this huge pre-launch phase, the phase of preparation and getting systems in place, and some of this job is still being done. So previously I worked, as many coaches start when they are figuring out what to do with it and who they really want to serve. So I work with great many different people around these goals, and I know that I have this ability to like hunt dreams, the true dreams. So people, I can be at my doctor's office, and suddenly she will share with me some passion and some dream that no one would suspect she had, or so things like this happen to me all the time. And I worked also with teams and solving conflicts in teams, or making this team to really work towards the same direction. So both individuals and groups and teams, which is each of them is slightly different. But I've figured out, while focusing in my business, or who am I really want to serve, I figured out that it must be both these high achiever types who are driven by this very strong inner force to constantly reach more, create more, do more, test themselves more. And it doesn't come, it's really important to understand that this desire, it doesn't come from any feeling of lack. It's not that you feel like things are not good enough. It's just that they are good. But in order to feel alive, you need to progress. You need to explore more. Otherwise, it will become boring. So, for instance, stability. It's not a value of my ideal client. Stability to my ideal client means really boredom. So that's one. So people who have these impossible visionary goals, audacious goals that maybe they hear from many others that, oh my gosh, well, this time you're really aiming too high, right? And sometimes they might doubt themselves and also think that they are aiming too high, and okay, now I'm really being crazy here. But also, especially high achievers who have the tendency to exhaust themselves along the way. And this is the mentorship part of my job, because I researched high achiever syndrome that not many people know exists, even because we're looking up to these high achievers and we admire them and we want to model them, as it's called, to like figure out what they do to succeed so that we can copy it in our own lives so that we can succeed as well. But high achievers need a different kind of advice, and they need to watch out, because as I said, the strengths that they have, when overplayed, might become their biggest weaknesses and lead them to things like exhaustion, frustration, super stress, anxiety, even high functional depression and burnout. And this is what we don't want.
So how do you operate? Is that like online, or it's workshops? It's in Norway only, or it's people from other countries also can work with you? So just give us some idea, and how people can actually connect with you if they found this is something for me. This is, I want to establish the goals for my team, for my company, for all personal goals.
Yeah. So right now I have launched, based on this method that I've been perfecting, that combines coaching and mentorship in these areas, and accountability and really partnership in this. I have launched the premium service, which is called 5-Star Journey, and you can find also information about it in detail on my website. But this is this exclusive product when I work one-on-one, very intensely, very closely with 5 clients at the time. Each of them individually. And this process can go, because it's all about impossible dreams, as well as, transforming yourself so that you can be this professional goal achiever. This process takes time. So 3 months is absolute minimum. It can go up to 12 months. Obviously, we can also continue if we want to. But it all depends on the pace that my client is willing to go through, and personality, your schedule, and also what kind of goal it is, and what frame do you give yourself in general to achieve it. So it's really custom made. It's really tailor made. I love that it's like haute couture coaching, and it's global. It's definitely global. I can coach, and I'm used to coaching in 3 languages, because I live and think and dream in 3 languages all the time. So it's English, Norwegian, or Polish. That's my main 3. I can some others, but these I use all the time. And so we can do it online. I will be also launching, that's the next project, I will be launching a different kind of product, which will be more like a self-study course. It's planned to come later this autumn, that really gives an insight to all the principles that I live by, and it's all about how to, while achieving these impossible goals, stay on fire along the way without burning out. So it's all about keeping your energy high, keeping your vibe high, being really happy and enjoying this entire journey, and not only the destination. So this is something that if you're interested in diving into this, just follow. Probably my social media would be the best place to follow, because I will keep you posted. So if you would like to get in touch with me, I guess the best 2 ways are either to just send me a request on Facebook, where I'm pretty active. And please, once you're sending a request, please send me a note, who you are, why you're reaching out, what you would like to get out of it. This is how I know that, okay, here we can make some quality connection and quality conversation. And the other way is just straightforward email, good traditional at this point email. So Aleks with KS at GoalAchievers.eu, and we can start a dialogue from there.
Sandra, thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to have you in a group. Please share your upcoming launch, and I invite all people who are interested in this topic. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, CEO, even if you're working for somebody else, you always want to achieve your goals. But the way how you're going to do it now can be fun. And that's something which Aleksandra might help you with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for listening and watching, guys.